Well, I'm back, peeps. This is going to be a Q&A session thanks to my good friend Tommy Spud. That's at Tommy Spud on Twitter. He asked me a few wrestling related questions, and I'm going to answer them right now. His first one, my 10 favorite original ECW matches, will have to wait because that'll be a video on its own. So, here we go. First question, what is your opinion on CZW? Well, I've never really watched or followed CZW, but it did give me one of my favorite wrestlers, Necro Butcher, and it's solely responsible for the career of one Sanjay Dutt, so they gotta be doing something right. Question 2. If you had the power to change wrestling for the better, how would you do it? Honestly, if I had the power to change wrestling for the better, I would put more emphasis on the actual sport of wrestling, what goes on inside the ring, not what goes on outside of it. I'm not a fan of the entertainment side of it. I'm not a huge fan of the gimmicks and the storylines. I know to an extent it has to be done, but it's done way too much in the WWF and TNA today. Question number 3. Have you seen Jim Cornette versus the drive-thru YouTube video yet? What are your thoughts? To answer your question, yes I have, and I thought it was one of the most fucking hilarious videos I've ever seen on the YouTube. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's Jim Cornette versus the drive-thru. Okay, question number 4. I've noticed that companies drop a lot of storylines and don't bother to tie up the loose ends. Does it bother you? Yes, it does. If you're going to go through all this trouble to do a storyline, and for one, they rarely explain why they're doing the storyline, then when it ends, there's no explanation on why it ends. If you're going to work and spend so hard and spend so much money on doing the bullshit I don't like anyway, at least make it easy to figure out. And I want to point this out. Jericho was banned from Raw some 4 months ago, ever competing, and then as soon as the draft came along, he was back on Raw. I just don't get it. It makes no fucking sense. Okay, question number 5. Jushin Thunder Liger or Ultimate Dragon, and why? On that, I would have to choose Jushin Thunder Liger. Why? He's probably one of the best non-American wrestlers in the history of the business. He's highly underrated, and again, it's a throwback to my childhood, man. If you've ever seen any of his matches with the late Brian Pillman, you'll know why I like him so much. Before the Cruiserweight or the X Division or the light heavyweight titles were cool or accepted on the mainstream level, Pillman and Jushin Liger were tearing it up with each other all around the world. Check out their shit, man. Question number 6. Why does everybody try to turn Sting heel? Well, I'm not a booker, so I can't truthfully answer that question. But I will say it's damn near impossible to turn Sting heel. I think the main reason why they do it is for the same reason why they turned Hogan heel in WCW in '96. It had never been done before, and it drew tons of fucking money. Sadly, in today's landscape of wrestling, once a star becomes so beloved, it's hard to hate him. The only reason why the Hogan angle worked so good, him turning heel, is because by that time the fans were so sick and tired of seeing his bitch ass, they were thrilled when he went heel, because it gave them a reason to hate him. Question number 7. What is your opinion on Bret Hart being the general manager of while they're be guest host? Well, personally, I think Bret Hart being the guest host of Raw is a great thing. Anything to keep him on TV. Bret was one of my favorite wrestlers. And on they're continuing to be guest host. I think it'll be more like just a guest appearance rather than them having any control of what's going on in a storyline. I've been against the whole guest host thing from day one, but at least we got Bret Hart out of it. So, there's my answer. Question number 8. Do you like Billy Kidman? Okay. I'm not a huge Billy Kidman fan, but I like him. My favorite time in his career was when he was in the Ravens flock and dressed all grunge and tattered, and the Shooting Star Press was called the 7-Year Itch. I loved him then. After that, it's not his fault booking dropped the ball with him, but they did. There's my answer on that one. Question number 9. Tell me, would you put in a new Raven faction? Hell yeah, I would. I would make Raven, Mick Foley, Stevie Richards, and Daphne a full-on stable. Bring in Kaz and Michael Shane. I think it would be perfect. Possibly Sandman. But that's the quick answer to your question, because I'm getting close to running out of time. Question number 10. How would you have booked DDP through the invasion angle? I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have brought that piece of shit into my company if he was the last wrestler on earth. I don't like DDP. He can go suck a dick. He's a fucking scumbag on the likes of Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. Possibly worse than Ric Flair. Fuck you, Mr. DD-Me. Question number 11. Which Hardy brother would you rather employ? I would employ Matthew Hardy. He doesn't have drug problems that I know of. He's always dependable, and he can wrestle. Jeff Hardy's flaws are he can't wrestle a lick, and he's got a lot of personal demons. So I would choose Matt Hardy on that question. Question number 12. Do you think mainstream wrestling needs to start making it more simple again? I think the mainstream wrestling needs to take wrestling back and make it more of a legit sport than the sports entertainment crap that we're fed today. That's my opinion. It's a quick answer because I've got 30 seconds left. Anyone, if y'all have any questions for me, hit me up, DM me on the Twitter, hit me up on Facebook, whatever. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Peace out.